Good morning, everybody. It's Lisa Jane here on a somewhat cloudy and cooler Friday in Cape Town, Friday the 26th of March. Looking forward to our full moon on Sunday. I will be holding a Golden Circle Heart Activation Meditation for those members of my Patreon community. So if you're not a member and you'd like to join, please see below the link. I've tried to keep it very reasonable and affordable and just keep it simple with two options. But if it resonates, if you feel you want to be part of our community, my community, the community of the White Rose, then please take a look at that. So this is just going to be a quick video about things that are coming up for me related to the equinox, the upcoming full moon, but also related to these current religious festivals or ceremonies that are coming up. As many of you might know, I am a healer and I practice here in Cape Town. I do one-on-one sessions via Zoom or contact, but part of my work is quite deeply spiritual in that I spend quite a large portion, and there's my mail popping, so I'm just going to turn that off quickly because I'm real, right? So I spend a large part of my work in spiritual meditation. I have always been curious about things ever since I was a little girl. And my one life's mission is to know God, whatever God is. And as I've matured in these spiritual understandings and belief in my own work and healing, it is very clear to me that God is within us. It is not something outside of us, that we are all present in a very powerful creative field, and that we have become God's greatest experiment in distraction, because as humans, with the additional layers of consciousness we are so distracted on many levels. And especially when it comes to the mind, and I'm talking about the lower levels of the mind, which are really thought forms, beliefs that chatter around, that move around your head, and if they're there long enough, they create quite heavy, dense structures within our field. And again, if you've heard or listened to some of my videos before, you will also know that that continual thought process by each human and groups of humans and years and thousands of years of that thought process creates a construct, creates an energetic matrix of which we are all currently entangled. Now, the current strong process is that of untanglement, is that of reducing distraction, is that of really bringing you back to a place where you put your spiritual growth or awareness of self, let's drop some of the labels, as a priority. And the only way, or the one path that will take you there, is a path of silence, a path of deep contemplation, and a path of getting to know yourself. Right? So in that process, there are many other things that might distract us, that might lead us to think that we need to be a certain way to be spiritual, or we need to do certain practices in order to be authentic. For me, the one most important thing is just to look on the inside, darlings. And I know that's not easy, right? Because for a lot of us, it's not safe inside. For whatever reason, we have experienced trauma, we have experienced hurt, and it doesn't have to be hugely intense trauma. It can just be years worth of listening to people's words about you where they might have been derogatory or condescending, and where you've held that hurt in your field and never spoken up or never spoken back. Because you might be one of those gentle peace warriors that really just wants peace and doesn't enjoy conflict. But what that does, beloved ones, is that energetically it holds it in your field. And this holding in your field of the hurt, of the lost voice, of the not speaking up, has really created such a burden on many people that they are struggling to find their voices, they are struggling to speak up, and they're struggling to begin to understand who they are outside all of the voices that they've grown up with, right? This is the path of spiritual awakening. It is the path of finding your authentic self, and it is the path of the heart, which has been a powerful part of my own journey And one day maybe I'll write that book or that great tome about the journey of the heart and how you can use it to really walk your path of authenticity. But for today, I want us to talk about these burdens we carry. Because while working with a client, and a number of clients actually it's come up with, I've seen this as a cross on their backs. Now, obviously, this is symbolic. For those Christian people out there, we are coming up to that religious ceremony where, Jesus had the cross on his back. But in my work, everything is symbolic. And again, I'm beginning to realize that much of what we've experienced in the texts and the books has been so mistranslated that it's difficult to actually really interpret it and bring it down to a point where you can say, well, actually, this is what I feel I need to do next. So I'm going to try and put it simply for you. That cross or that burden, which energetically we are being asked to release, is around carrying all of the expectations people have ever had of you. It's around carrying all of those labels you might have had thrown at you. It's around carrying the being that you created to actually live up to what people wanted to see. So in essence, you gave away your life, you gave away your authenticity to please other people, right? To keep other people happy, to keep the peace. So this message really is for those of you that are peacemakers, caretakers, that don't like conflict. Because in order to find your voice, you don't have to go into conflict. You don't have to start screaming and shouting at those people who you feel oppressed you for so long. Because it's about taking accountability. And it's about stepping into a space where you look at yourself and say, hang on, this warrior in me wants to be real now. This warrior in me wants to be myself. Because you have been given the greatest gift, and that is the gift of life. If you're sitting here listening to me and breathing. The fact that you woke up this morning with everything that is going on, with a roof over your head, and please God, peace in your heart and in your home, hopefully, and food on your table. Wow. Sorry, I just need to take a moment there. That feels quite powerful. I get quite emotional when I say that. Because there are many, many, many millions of people on our planet who don't even have that. So if you have that, it is a blessing. Your life is a gift. And you are being called by all the realms and the angels and the gods and God and Mother Earth to step into your heart center, to start showing the world who you are as a peace-loving, gentle, caring being that wants to be of service to humanity. So that energy, that warrior-like, doesn't have to be communicated outside. It can be felt inside as the true burning of flames in your heart, courageously saying, I want to be me. I am good enough. I am ready to move. I am willing and able and ready to take away that cross, to take away the burden of trying to be something I'm not. And I'm ready to step into my truth, aligned to my soul, and walk my path with courage and commitment. Right? Because we need you, brave warriors of light out there. The world is asking for every one of us to take responsibility, accountability, and to step into our truth in such a powerful way. It doesn't mean that you necessarily have to give up everything and become a healer. Anyone who is living their life from the authenticity of their heart is a healer. Whether you work in a library, whether you are a doctor, or whether you are a housewife, it doesn't actually matter. You are lighting up the world with a vibration that is resonant with God, with nature, with all there is. And in every heartbeat, you can then create a new world because you're holding a vibration that is healing because you're moving into the heart. So if you would like me to talk more about this, because I could talk hours and I've got books and books that I've written of my own meditational meanderings, then please let me know. My path feels as if it's moving to a much more spiritual place. Not that that's a good or bad thing, but that's my journey, right? I have always wanted to hold my own community. And like I said at the beginning, if you're still here, is that my community of the White Rose on Patreon is that for now. It may change. That application may not suit exactly what it is I want to offer, but for now it feels the safest place. It feels like I can contain the energy there because that's most important. I want it to be safe. I want it to be a respectful place. And I want everyone to feel welcome no matter where they are on their journey. So during this time leading up to these very special religious holidays, if you are celebrating them, really consider what your spiritual practice is. And by spiritual practice, I'm saying, when do you give yourself the time to connect to your soul and your heart? When do you give yourself the time to sit in quiet contemplation, even if it's going to be noisy, even if it feels scary? Me, the guides, the angels, we're all with you. It doesn't have to be scary, okay? And if it is and feels too painful, please contact me for a session or contact someone you trust for a session. A spiritual healing and energy healing can go a long way to helping you on this journey. Or any other methodology that resonates with you. Please, the world needs you to go find your soul, connect with your soul, live from your soul's wisdom with an open and awakened heart. So I think that was all I wanted to share with you. I feel a presence with me as I'm talking to you. I hope you can feel it too. May you ride on the wings of the angels for this coming full moon and for the festivals coming up. And may you be guided by your soul's wisdom. And may we hold each other in the highest regard with peace in our hearts. And knowing that we are all just humans trying to take this journey. Compassion. Compassion, compassion. Sending you love from my heart to yours, from a healing room here underneath the slopes of Table Mountain. Take care, beautiful souls. Bye.